For Manchester United, the big test, with their first division lead slimmed down to 2 points, they now face Wolverhampton Wanderers, currently the most consistent side in the country, with 8 wins and 2 draws in their last 10 games. And United line up, of course, without George Best. The rest of the side is unchanged. David Sadler has recovered from his sore throat, so he'll be in the number 6 shirt. And into Best's place comes Sammy McIlroy, the Belfast teenager who made a sensational debut against Manchester City in November. A big chance again for him. Wolves are predictably unchanged. Their lineup is the same that has seen them through their last 10 unbeaten games, with Dougan, the scorer of 20 goals, the spearhead, and locking things up at the back, Francis Monroe, signed from Aberdeen for £60,000. He played his first game for Wolves 4 years ago this week against Everton. Harold Davey from Nottingham, our referee for this afternoon, checks his watches, checks his linesman, and away we go with Manchester United in the white shorts, kicking from right to left. McIlroy for Kidd. Edwards. And Monroe back to his goalkeeper, Phil Parkes. Parkes took over from John Oldfield 16 months ago and hasn't missed a game since. Willie Morgan losing out to Dougan. And Dougan trying to use his speed to get round Edwards, but Sadler clearing up. Again Sadler, and again charged down by Wagstaffe. No sign that the absence of George Best has had any effect on the gate here at Old Trafford. Another big crowd. Mike Bailey, the Wolves skipper, with the throw-in. Looking for Richards, who came in a bit hard there on Tony Dunn. Morgan. Edwards with Dougan racing back to challenge. No foul given, so Wagstaffe with a run. And well covered by Dunn. Three men at the back of the box there for Wolves. One of them, Francis Monroe. Richards and Dougan, the other two. McCalliog on the line, and over comes the corner. Dougan's head. Derek Dougan. Bailey for Hibbitt. Dougan. Wagstaffe. McCalliog in the middle. Bernard Shaw. And a second corner for Wolves. Less than 3 minutes of the game gone. Monroe again there in the penalty area with Richards and Dougan, the two tall men, and it's played back for Parkin. And Law slipping it for Morgan. McIlroy going up ahead of him. Law inside here, and now McIlroy. Morgan. Gowling is there in the middle. Kidd's head. And Wolves really reeling there as United turned it on. Richards hasn't got it away. Good shot by Morgan. Goalkeeper Phil Parkes. Dunn's header, cut out by McCalliog. Wagstaffe. This boy really can shift, and that's a good cross. No offside, kicked off the line by Sadler. Wagstaffe's cross again for McCalliog. Cleared by Gowling, but Wagstaffe causing terrible trouble down the left. Morgan to Kidd. Gowling. This is McCall for Bailey. Hibbitt. Shaw outside him. Bailey. And that was too hard for Shaw, but only by a foot or so. Both sides caught up in the frantic pace of this opening. Charlton's pass just not right for Kidd. Only 5 minutes gone and so much already has happened. Bailey. And Sadler will push it back. Good jump by Kidd, and he was fouled in the air, pushed by Shaw. The Kidd's head again, Law under it, but beaten by McCall. Morgan back in, and McCall again. Parkin clears, but only to Dunn. Gowling, and he's beaten Bailey beautifully. Law couldn't take it. Wagstaffe, beaten by Morgan's tackle. And a back heel for Charlton. Edwards beats Dougan in the air. Morgan keeps it in. Morgan playing so well again. McIlroy. Dennis Law made that decision before the referee could get his whistle to his lips. Charlton to Kidd. Miss-hit. Short of Wagstaffe, and Wagstaffe on to Parkin. Dougan winning it in the air. Sadler there for United, and it's still not clear. That was Edwards and Dunn together, and McCalliog has seized on the ball. Pulled it right across for Hibbitt. Dougan's head! Derek Dougan's 21st goal of the season, that was always on from the time it was pulled back here to Hibbitt, and he crosses now with Dougan waiting and no chance for Stepney. It all began with that collision between Edwards and Dunn that left United 2 men short at the back. And United now 1 down, 21 minutes gone, and Wagstaffe away again. Parkin. Richards. Charlton. Parkin. Edwards. Intercepted by Parkin. And Edwards is lost again as Parkin attacks and Dougan can't quite make it. And Tony Dunn is down, feeling his leg. Burns. McIlroy against Parkin, and he got a free kick out of it because Parkin was pushing him off before the ball was anywhere near playing distance. Now this might be a Bobby Charlton special. The wall forming up just on the edge of the area. McIlroy going into it, on the end of it there. And Charlton let go. Kidd. Goal. Looked as though he'd run it too far. Charlton plays it back through the space to Law. Morgan. Well played by Morgan, shielding the ball for Dunn. And now Law. Just didn't work for Charlton. Bailey picking up the loose ball. Burns in two minds. Dougan with Sadler to beat. Only one other man in support. And he almost sneaked it past Stepney. McCall. Parkin played into trouble. But Monroe now. Shaw. Hibbitt. Bailey. Parkin. Long one again, and Dougan there. Brave and fine save by Stepney. But great heading by Dougan. Morgan, and a good run by Law that didn't quite work. But Manchester United have really got a man-sized task on here today, because this is very clearly a fine Wolves playing with a great deal of confidence. Offside again. Dougan will very happily lie tight on that line of defenders, hoping that once or twice in a game he'll get the benefit of the flag and just get away with a chance. Not a good clearance from Parks. Kidd's header, but he was wide in. He was up on Shaw's shoulders. Francis Monroe with the free kick. Dougan, a lovely glancing header, and Richards! Once again, Dougan's head causes the trouble. There's the free kick from Monroe. Watch for Dougan's head. Their first goals in a league game at Old Trafford in 6 visits. Now heading for their first victory here in the league for 10 seasons. It will certainly take something remarkable from United in the last hour to stop them. A corner for United. Charlton. Good header by Kidd. Just got a little too much under it. But it would have beaten Parks, I think. McCalliog. Wagstaffe ready to run down the touchline, now doubles inside. awkwardly bobbling ball which he controls well. Hibbitt. Again aimed for Dougan's head, but this time Edwards there first. McCalliog. Clever shot from an awkward ball. Bounced well for McIlroy. Morgan. McIlroy again striding out towards that touchline. Beautiful dummy that sent Shaw the wrong way. Gowling. McIlroy. Disappointment from Sammy McIlroy. Consolation from Kidd, because McIlroy really hit it well. He wanted it to swing away from the goalkeeper, and in the end the swing beat the post as well. It does begin to look as though it might be a game full of goals, because Wolves are showing no sign of closing it up. Charlton. Morgan. Morgan again. Law scrambling for a header, an appeal for a penalty, and it's not given, it's given the other way. Referee adding on nothing at all. We had no stoppages in a fine first half of really superb football, in which Wolves came out and absolutely charged at Manchester United, pinned them back against their own posts, and in the end the goals just had to come. The first of them from Dougan and the second from Richards. A lot of hard thinking for Manchester United to do in the next 10 minutes. And something really exciting in prospect for the second half. As they stand now, Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. So we begin again with a scoreline which will bring particular pleasure to Bill McGarry, the Wolves manager, who came here in his first match as manager of Wolves and saw his side beaten by 2-0. So now the table's completely turned, and a lot for Manchester United to do in this second half. Charlton. Header by McCall. Law coming in. Morgan. McIlroy. And Morgan again. Too high for Kidd. It really is the most incredible atmosphere here this afternoon. Foul by Charlton. Some time wasting here. Edwards. Bailey with the throw. "25 yards progress down the line for Wolves. Bailey again. Bailey. Wagstaffe tripped by Charlton, but no foul given. Kidd to Gowling. Kidd now lying very deep. Burns. for Law's head, and just into the gap where there's nobody for United. Bounced a little awkwardly for Burns, and Richards there sniffing around that back pass, and Dougan has gone down with what looks like a pulled muscle at the back of his thigh. Out of play, and now Sammy Chung will have a chance to come on and have a look at Dougan. Immediately, Hughie Curran starts limbering up on the touchline while Dougan gets treatment there. Big round of applause for Dougan. Curran, his boots passed the test. I think he showed the referee that his teeth weren't too sharp. A free kick for Manchester United then. Charlton. Monroe, good header, but Gowling seizing on it. Come out to Morgan. And Morgan a good cross. Charlton. There's a Wolves player down injured on the edge of the box. Bailey bringing the ball away. Richards. Curran in the middle, pulled back for Shaw. That was a very intelligent ball. Offside against McCalliog. And the referee now coming back to look at the injured player. This really couldn't have happened at a worse time for Wolves. Alex Stepney keeping warm at the other end. Crowd beginning to get impatient, but one has a certain sympathy with Wolves here. Well, Hibbitt is clearly in no condition to play on at the moment. Well, a really dramatic blow for Wolves. In the space of 3 minutes, 2 players carried off the field. And they're now down to 10 men. Already used their substitute in Curran. In comes Curran to make a tremendous challenge on Tony Dunn. And Morgan goes into Curran's back. Crowd booing, Dunn down holding his knee. Willie Morgan coming back. Kidd. Charlton. Law in the middle here. Touch for McIlroy. Law! No, he couldn't make it. The best chance that United have yet had, and McIlroy struck it against the goalkeeper's legs. Wagstaffe for Wolves. Hibbitt. Now back on the field, and apparently okay. I didn't see him come back, but looking as though he's fairly comfortable. Wagstaffe. Parkin. Bailey, and Parkin again. Law, back to Stepney. Monroe, Bailey. Shaw played into trouble. Law. And now it's all right for Wolves. Just rocking for a moment there. Parkin. And Sartori again warming up on the touchline. Parkin, Bailey, Wagstaffe and Shaw. Missing out Hibbitt rather, giving it to Bailey. Curran and Richards! Well, he won't see many better saves than that this season. Alex Stepney responding supremely to that shot. Richards' head again, just beaten to it. McCalliog, Edwards can't get at it, nor can Gowling. And Gowling eventually brings down McCalliog. It seemed inevitable. McCalliog shielding the ball so cleverly. And Wagstaffe will take the free kick. Wolves have extended this Manchester United defence to the very limits of its ability. Parkin. McCalliog shot and it only just whistled wide. Sartori now has his tracksuit off and is ready to take the field, but has sat down again on the bench. Foul on McIlroy gives a free kick to Manchester United. By my watch, something over 17 minutes to go, but quite a lot to be added on. Gowling, Law! Law's bicycle kick, which came so close to succeeding a couple of times at West Ham last week. That time taking the ball well wide. And now Manchester United are going to make their substitution. Gowling coming off and Sartori going on. Carlo Sartori, who last played in the League Cup against Stoke in mid-November. Edwards didn't make the header, but Sadler covering. Good work by Burns. McCalliog, Hibbitt, Richards is free. Pulled it across, and Curran couldn't quite make it, but it's a penalty. Curran tripped as he went for it. Tony Dunn furious at the decision. Jim McCalliog will take the penalty. Scored from 2 previously this season. The crowd incensed by the decision, but no trouble. So for the second week in succession, Manchester United find themselves 3-0 down. Edwards, Sartori, The Wolves supporters chanting easy. 15 minutes plus injury time to go. And Wolves playing with so much command and so much confidence. It's difficult to see how United can do anything about it. It's certainly not for want of effort on United's part. They really have just met a better side on the day. Burns. Richards. And he's away again, pulled back. And that could mean a booking. No, he just had words with Sadler, but that was the sort of situation where I would have thought players had been booked earlier this season. A deliberate foul after a man had been beaten. Bailey. Too high. Tony Dunn to Sartori, substituting for Gowling. Hibbitt reading that, and Law was there. Dangerous kicking. Kidd putting his foot up as McCalliog put his head down. McCalliog. No, it's got to be taken again. Taken too quickly or not from the right spot. Wagstaffe to Parkin. Bailey, always available. Hibbitt. A little bit of possession play now, Shaw. And Edwards almost playing Stepney into trouble there. Really not Stepney's fault. The ball came at him very hard. A foul given, another free kick to Wolves. Still not clear, and that's Stepney's. Throw out, almost gave it to McCalliog. Wolves so quick and so sharp looking for the ball, playing now as they were in the opening 5 and 10 minutes of the game. Burns to Charlton. Richards getting it on to McCalliog. Richards again. And for Hibbitt. Could see the point of the first time shot there, but he had a little bit of space and he might have done better to try to control it first. Five minutes plus injury time left. Free kick to Manchester United for the foul on Kidd. Morgan, Burns and Morgan again. Charlton at his side. Morgan still going. Sartori taking over and just running into trouble. Just too many men there for him. Richards trying to run through people and not succeeding. Charlton a good ball for McIlroy. McIlroy's made himself some space. And he's got a great goal! There's a pedigree about this boy's movements that give you the greatest hope for the future. Just watch him take this and turn. And now the right foot shot, bang! McIlroy's 4th goal in his 10th first-team game, 3-1, but only 4 minutes plus injury time remaining. Wagstaffe. Bailey. Bailey to give it back to Hibbitt. Well worked. And Edwards there first. But United so often giving the ball away from defence that the pressure comes back on them immediately. Curran. Booted away by Dunn. Monroe. Good interception by Dunn. And McIlroy away again. He's got Law with him. On to Kidd. Tony Dunn back in this move. Morgan there. United's throw. Some last-minute urgency. Scarcely believable that they could pull the chestnuts out of the fire at this stage. McIlroy couldn't turn that time. Bounced well for Curran. He's got it over Sadler's head. Sadler lost the ball for the moment. Kidd. Sartori is in the middle. Law is there. But the cross wasn't deep enough. And Wolves calmly working themselves out of trouble. Dunn to Sartori. Bobby Charlton short of him. Morgan. 3 men in the box for United. Law, Charlton, they're trying to play the one touch, and it won't work for them. Tony Dunn will pump it back in. For the first time in the game, United beginning to apply a bit of consistent pressure. Dunn! Flag for offside against Law, overruled by the referee quite reasonably, but he would have given it if the ball had gone in. Hibbitt, Bailey. Bailey lofting it a bit too much, and a foul given against Edwards. Free kick for Wolves as we approach injury time. Morgan to McIlroy. On for Sadler now coming forward, and the game now in injury time. Morgan for McIlroy. Working it onto his right foot, and he's pushed it too hard for Sadler. Mr. Davey having a look at his watch, but he must surely add on several minutes for the stoppages. Chase for Curran, but Edwards the nod back to Stepney. Morgan. Richards beavering away. He has had such a good game, this young lad. Morgan. McIlroy needs a cross now. There it goes, nodded away. Sartori couldn't get it because McCalliog beat him to it. taken up again for Wolves, with Wagstaffe calling for it out on the left. Just Curran in the box for Wolves. And that is the end. 2.5 minutes added on by Mr. Davey, and Manchester United are beaten again. Wolves win a league game at Old Trafford for the first time in 10 seasons, with goals in the 20th minute by Dougan, in the 30th by Richards, and a penalty from McCalliog in the 75th, before Sammy McIlroy replied for Manchester United in the 86th minute. So now United have gone 5 games without a win, and this 5th scoreline here at Old Trafford really leaving a lot of question marks for them. Manchester United 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 3.